Mistake with the Alpha Chapter 87. Jalen point of view. His look shows that he was so confident in whatever he wanted to say. I might be your son, but then also your alpha. Shouldn't you come to me if anything is wrong? I asked him angrily. I would have loved to come to you, but then she might coerce you into believing her lies. I want this to be done publicly, where she wouldn't be able to go scot-free with her lies, he said bluntly. I was so mad at my dad. I know he must have heard the news about Sam's pregnancy and thought she lied to me. I haven't even seen Sam since I heard of the pregnancy. Talk more of her telling me it's my baby. I had even thought she was going to come to my room secretly to tell me, but then I didn't see her. We will settle this in my office, I commanded. No, son. We would settle this here. Enough of all her ploy on you. I'll make sure to unveil the truth and get you married soon, he said blatantly. I don't know the reason why my father decided to behave like this. He didn't know that he's embarrassing me this way. I don't want to use my alpha power on my parents. It's not really a good thing. Dad, I'm begging you, let's go to my office, I said calmly. But my father's look didn't change. I don't know why he hated Sam this much. It's not as if she did him any wrong. Sam is a girl who always loves to avoid leaders. Even meeting me is fated. What is happening here? That voice belongs to my enemy and stalker. None else than Prince Brock. Now more trouble for me. I glared at my father, and that minute I hated him for making Brock meet us here. Don't I deserve an answer, Jalen? He asked in his commanding voice. I wonder why of all the people here, he chose me to answer his question. Why can't he just let me be? I don't think this issue is what we would love to get you involved in, Prince Brock, I said between gritted teeth. I wasn't even looking at the prince. I was staring hard at my father. I know my mother wouldn't be a partaker of this. No, Your Highness, we do need your involvement in this very much, my father said, looking me straight in the eyes. Dad, I called stiffly, grinding my teeth together till it started to hurt. Brock looked at Sam, who was still on the floor. Oh, I know this female, he said, moving close to her. I didn't know he had such a keen memory. He only saw Sam for a few minutes, and he recognized her. Well, her red hair is very easy to recognize. Sam then looked at him. To my surprise, Sam wasn't even crying. Her eyes were so dry, but then she looked pale and sad. The Sam I know would have cried her eyes out, but now not even a drop of tears was on her face. Young lady, Brock called and wanted to touch her. Don't you dare touch her, I growled. I was even surprised when I discovered I was the one that said it. I dare to growl at a lichen prince. What an audacity I've got. Brock looked at me, but at the end, he didn't touch her. I know everyone would have fear for me. I would advise you not to touch her, Your Highness, my father said politely. Is she diseased? He asked. No, but then she's too filthy to be touched by your royal hands, he replied. I know I'm not going to forgive my father for doing this to me. He might think he's helping me, but then he is hurting me to my bones. Brock gave my father a continued look. I'm here to interrogate her, who truly owns the child in her belly. She pinned it only son. She didn't pin anything on me. I didn't. Sam and I started at the same time, but then she stopped when she heard me talk. Interesting, Brock said with a smile. I felt like I wiped the smile off his face. He would definitely be happy with this happening to me. Prince, I want her to confess. She's not my son's mate. How can she conceive for him? Nothing of such has happened in history, my father said. Brock didn't reply to my father. He just looked at Sam, whose eyes were on me. I didn't get to know until I looked at her. Before I know what to do, I have to hear you, lady, he said to her. Who made you judge here? I said sternly, glaring at him. Seize him, he ordered. Before I knew it, 5 lichens were already pinning me down. I was struggling so as to be free from them. Everywhere was super silent. They were watching what the lichen prince was going to do to me. He walked to me. Take that tone with me again, and I'll make sure you spend your weekend in your own dungeon, he said with his wolf. Lichen wolves are quite domineering and talk more of their prince. I might be a lichen alpha, but then I'll definitely recognize my leader. I didn't say anything. I was just looking at him angrily. Release him, Brock said, and went back to Sam. I stood up. I wouldn't dare to say anything. If not for anyone, but for Sam. I had to make sure I am there when they want to pass her judgment. I looked at her and noticed that she had her hand on her chest. She looked so scared. She was giving me a pleading look. that I don't really understand why. Back to you, young lady. Who is the father of your child? He asked her. Sam just bowed. I was expecting her to talk, so I could affirm it, but then she didn't say anything. I don't know what is wrong with her. Why is she afraid when I'm here with her? Now you can't talk. You pretender, my father said. Brock looked at my dad, and he bowed in apology immediately. It's mine. I decided to talk since it seems like Sam is now mute. I didn't ask you. He hushed me. I'm a very stubborn person. I don't care what he thinks. I need to save this woman on the floor. But it's my issue, I said, but in a less harsh tone. You are not the one who is carrying the child. Let her speak, he said with a warning look. The baby is mine. It's only mine, Sam shouted with all her strength. She must have been so frustrated to shout like that. I really pitied her. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications to stay up to date with new videos uploaded. Also check out our next video in the series.